Good evening and welcome to the second podcast of the day, he says, kicking his microphone. Welcome to the show. This one is going to enrage you. Starmer and Yvette Cooper, just whose side are you on? Keir Starmer and Yvette Cooper, are you on the side of the illegal migrants or the people of Epping and indeed the people of the United Kingdom? The people who pay your wages. Don't go away. This is dynamite. They've been discussing today whether the Epping injunction can carry on. There's no result yet. It's going to come out tomorrow at 2 o'clock. But did you know how the Home Office defended their position? No? Well, I'll tell you. And it's out bloody rageous. Basically, the Home Office argued that the asylum seekers, the illegal asylum seekers' rights, their human rights, trump the people of Epping. The Home Office's bid to challenge the decision to temporarily block the owner of the Bell Hotel in Epping, where, of course, all the trouble's been, from housing asylum seekers, is in the Court of Appeal today. They're going to make their judgment overnight. But their Home Office, i.e. Yvette Cooper, and of course the man who prosecutions, your man Starmer, their argument was this. They suggested that the rights of asylum seekers must be placed above those of local people. They said, basically, Epping's interest in enforcement of planning control is important and in the public interest. However, the Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, her statutory duty is a manifestation of the United Kingdom's obligation under Article 3, here we go, of the European Court of Human Rights, or the Convention on Human Rights, which establishes fundamental human rights. Today, ladies and gentlemen, in my humble opinion, put me right if you want, I think our government, the people who you pay to govern you, they have decided to side with the illegal migrants. I think it's outrageous. Whether they win or not is a different issue. Hopefully the judges will understand that, because I tell you, there's going to be trouble either way now, isn't there? If they decide that it can be carried on as an asylum centre, I've got to ask the question, does that mean they're putting the rights and the safety of illegal criminals over and above these ladies here? See them? Their daughters, their wives, your sisters, your mums, your daughters and wives. I cannot believe how low this government, this lousy Labour government would go. What do you think? Or am I being over the top? I'm willing to have that debate with you. So my question tonight, Keir Starmer and Yvette Cooper, are they on the side of illegals or the people of Epping? The Bell Hotel injunction case in Epping shows exactly, in my opinion, where Westminster's loyalties lie. Are Starmer and Yvette Cooper on the side of the illegal? And don't give me this bullshit that if they're asylum seekers, they're not illegal. They're illegal because they broke into our country. So are they on the side of that, or are they on the side of the decent, silent majority, the people of Epping? It's a fundamental question, and it's one that strikes at the heart of our governance and our democracy. And I need your opinion. Come on, let's get talking tonight. Because I'll tell you something else. The reason why we're in this impossible position is because of the political establishment's caution, inaction, and incompetence. Now, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying just Starmer. I'm saying the political establishment. This has been going on ever since Blair opened the floodgates to the Polish plumbers, so to speak. They've then been cautious. They don't want to be called a racist, or racist even. Their inaction is because they're scared of their own shadow or of the European courts. I thought we left the EU. We should have left the ECHR as well. And then, of course, it's down to their incompetence that has landed the great British public in this position. The country that won 2 world wars, that liberated Europe, we are now still chained to Europe. But we're the only ones, because Germany, Denmark, and several other countries now are just Greece are booting these people out or putting them in prisons, and therefore cutting. Denmark's almost zero illegal immigration. Same thing's happened in America. If you get tough and have enforced rules, you can stop this, but you need political will. And I don't think there's been political will in this governance of our country for over 40 years. They're all as bad as each other. Self-serving pigs with their snouts in the trough, just looking after their own positions. And as a result of the establishment's caution, inaction, and incompetence, the people of Epping, in my personal opinion, and indeed the rest of the UK, are being put in danger. There is a case in the courts at the moment, which we can't talk about, but there's been cases all over the country where illegal migrants of men of fighting age have allegedly been involved in sexual attacks. And you know where this will end up? It'll end up with probably with them winning tomorrow. The traitors, I'm going to call them traitors, Starmer and Yvette Cooper. We're going to get in a situation where they win, but then what they'll do, they'll say, but we're going to close down the hotels. We're going to do it, which is a bit like when they said our deal with France will stop this, 1 out, 1 in, etc. It's collapsed. Also, the French police, the unions, are refusing to go in water above their ankles because they say the water is too cold. That's the French, even though we've given them 800 million. I'm fuming. 800 million quid. They're basically shoving a couple of fingers up at us. And then on top of that, the French government anyway, Macron, they're going to go out of office. France is in a terrible state. There's no way he's getting elected again. His government is going to collapse. It's only whether he collapses or their government collapses before ours because of Rachel Reeves and her useless Diane Abbott abacus style of accounting. And then what will happen is they'll say, don't worry, we're putting them in HMOs, homes of multiple occupation. But we don't want HMOs. We don't want migrants freely allowed to come and go from hotels. We want hotels to be hotels, don't we? But no, your government today argued against you, and in my opinion, against your women's safety. It's an absolute disgrace. The British public do not want migrants housed in hotels or HMOs. They want secure camps. All the polls are saying this. And immediate deportations. As I said earlier, other countries like Greece, Denmark, and Germany are showing the way. Why are we in Britain, here in the UK, still a soft touch? I'm going to expose how Labour and the government are failing communities, failing the very people they're meant to represent. And then Starmer, if he ever gets off his fucking sunbed, will no doubt say the first duty of a prime minister and a government is the protection of its people. Well, how about doing this? Why haven't you done it? Why have we got a situation where the hotels are full, where we've got HMOs, we've got girls and daughters and mothers and sisters and wives scared to walk the streets of the United Kingdom? You, Yvette Cooper, who are about as useless or useful as a chocolate Farage, you and your stupid, no charisma bypass Starmer, your leader, you've led us into danger. And then you wonder why he's the most unpopular PM ever. And in the earlier podcast I did at lunchtime, what a reaction I've had to that, to young Ryland and what he had to say about this situation. So many people supportive of it. But you wouldn't know that if you put on the mainstream news or you read a newspaper, because they're all saying there's been a massive outrage about it. And then on Twitter and on Facebook, a lot of people, morons in my opinion, uber liberals who probably couldn't spell illegal, let alone live near one, are saying that we're the fascists, we're the problem. No, we're just decent people who want to live in harmony and in safety. So my question is, are Starmer and Yvette Cooper standing with the people of Epping? I'm coming to your comments in a moment. Keep writing them down at the bottom, please. Or with the illegal migrants? What's your opinion? This is the Jon Gaunt podcast, talking about the Bell Hotel in Epping, talking about Starmer, Yvette Cooper, the migrant crisis. No doubt we will go on and talk about reform and Farage and stopping the boats. There's no need to, well, we need to stop the boats, but we need to protect our borders. Britain is a tinderbox and Britain will burn. And can you believe your government, it's your government, have today argued, I wrote it up here a minute ago, let me just read this out to you. They have basically sided, or their defense is, that the immigrants, the illegal, the crooks, the criminals have got more rights than you. Well, it shouldn't come as a surprise. This woke bullshit has been happening for years and years. But basically today in court, they said, oh, well, you saw what happened. So there might be more riots. So you've got to overturn, you three Lord judges, now you three top judges, you've got to tell the other judge he was wrong. So they've gone home to scratch their wig and make a decision. But I'm pretty confident, unfortunately, that Labour are going to win. They have sided, and it does sound dramatic, this, but they've sided with the villains. With the villains. What a day for Britain. And thank you for all the comments about the podcast earlier. If you've not listened to it, do so. It's brilliant, in my opinion. And by God, what a reaction. I think it's the biggest reaction we've ever got. So I'm asking you, are Starmer and Yvette Cooper standing with the people of Epping or with the illegal migrants, the criminals? Share your views now. Put it in the live chat down here and I'll start reading them out in a moment. Adventure says this government needs to go now. 4 more years? No. Penny Stewart says it's unforgivable. It's treasonous, Penny. It's not just unforgivable. It's treasonous. How could they say their argument is that their lives, the migrants' welfare, is more important than your daughters, your sisters, your mums, your wives? They have to have that argument because they were too late for the court case. Yvette Cooper was probably too busy doing a soft, cuddly interview with Ed Balls on crap telly than actually doing her job. She should have put her objection in much earlier, but no. And then the judge decided in favour of the people of Epping. Give him a medal. The only defence she and Starmer had today was that the migrants' lives, because of Article 3 or whatever article number it is, their rights superseded or are more important than British rights. What a fucking world we're living in. If I hear it's because of what we have inherited much more, The telly is going to get a brick, says Craig Urquhart. I understand where you're coming from. Martin Hyman, are the government breaking the Illegal Migration Act of 2023? How the hell do I know? But if you've got some information on that, I'd love to hear it. What I know is they're breaking the contract, the social contract between government and the people. They got elected, massive majority, can't argue with that, but they should do what we say. Now, they lied. We know about this in the manifesto, but I don't really want to go there. What I want to do, put it in real simple terms. It's not just me saying this. Have a quick Google and see what the newspapers are saying in the old media. You won't get it on the BBC because the BBC will be having a bloody party if the migrants can stay. But they won't stay in the hotel for very long because then they'll say, we've got to put them in houses of multiple occupation. What? Like in Nuneaton? That was a good idea, wasn't it? 13 likes. I need a few more than that. Come on, get liking it. I know you've already had a dose of Gaunty today, but you're getting 2 today because I didn't do 1 yesterday. And this is such massive news. We've got to talk about it tonight. Maggie Young, one of my regulars, says government won't even have a conversation with their own people. Maggie, bang on, love, bang on. Where has Starmer been? You got more chance of finding Wally in the kids' books. Where's Wally? Where is Starmer? For the past week or so, there's been all these problems. He should have been here. That's the Prime Minister's job. Yes, he can have a holiday, but not at the moment. Are you with me or against me? Everyone is on their knees trying to fight for their own families, says Maggie Young on Facebook. My family are moving to Portugal. I'm devastated, but I understand why. That's sad, Maggie. That is bloody sad. Being pushed out of your own countries. But why? Because we've got traitors. And I'm using that word. And if I get arrested, well, tough shit. They have acted in a traitorous way. So, is Westminster, Starmer, Cooper, Labour, are they all standing with the illegal migrants, the criminals, or with the people of Epping? After years of caution, inaction, and total incompetence, Conservatives and Labour, ordinary communities are left carrying the burden. Does Starmer actually want more trouble on the street? Is that what he's after? So he then can call us all far-right thugs? He'll suddenly emerge. You're all far-right thugs. Oh, you got a nice suntan. Where's your cold sore gone? Huh? Why should locals, why should Brits be put in danger while hotels and HMOs are commandeered? I'm demanding action and I'm demanding answers. Starmer and Yvette Cooper are not standing with the people of Great Britain. I don't know who they're standing with, but how do they hope to carry on if they behave like this? Got a view? Let me hear it. I'm sorry the show started at 6 tonight. I just couldn't start at 6:30, a bit too late. But I need your views. Loads of people. I'll try reading some of them out. Dazza on YouTube says, damn right, it's outrageous. Flipping useless, spineless Labour Party. Why won't they listen to the majority and grow a pair? Exactly. I don't know. I thought it was incompetence. I think it was stupidity. I thought it was It's not. This has got to be designed. They are gaslighting us, or whatever that term is. They're triggering us, aren't they? They don't care. Unless you can think of another reason. Oh, by the way, thank you to everybody who's chucked in a few quid, either on the $ here on the YouTube video itself or on buymeacoffee.com. Had a few after the first podcast and during the first podcast. Very kind of you. If you'd like to do it, go to www.buymeacoffee.com/Jon Gaunt. You can either choose to buy a coffee or a beer, £5 a time. I might need it because I reckon I could get arrested after this one. Also, you could just do it on YouTube by clicking, see that little $ down there? Just click on there and give whatever you fancy or whatever you can afford. Never give what you can't afford. Please don't do that because I know times are hard. But it all helps and it's all encouraging. When I listen to you listing out the situation, it's like you're reading a fairy tale, Gaunty, as it's hard to believe. But it's true. It's just so bad. This government is a joke. Jackie, it's worse than that. A joke would be as if this was satire. It isn't. Everything I've told you is exactly what's happened. Their defence today was that the migrants' rights, because of Article 3 of the ECHR, says that they've got a right to a peaceful life. Now, they have. But I say we're only in this situation because if this government, and indeed the previous one, the Tories, if they'd used old army bases, we would have had a deterrent. Now, of course, the Tories are going to come back at me and say, well, we suggested Rwanda, and they cancelled it. Starmer, this pathetic cretin, he cancelled the Rwanda thing on day one, but he didn't have an alternative. And the simple bottom line is this. You've got to have a deterrent. Otherwise, they'll keep coming. And obviously, the French piece, and you know what they're like, their unions are strong. I mean, they don't even bother with demos. They go straight to burning the sheep, don't they? But they're not having it. They're saying, oh, no, we're in danger if we go in the water and it's very cold. In a way, I don't blame them. And the rest of Europe, one of these people who's in court today, he was in court today, they mentioned the 5 countries he'd come through to get to England. Why have we got the problem? Oh, and on top of this, Ed Davey, Sir Ed Davey, what's he done to be knighted? Anyway, he says he came up with a great thing today, 2 things. One, he won't go to Donald Trump. When Donald Trump comes over for the state visit, he's not going to go to the royal banquet. So he's snubbing the king. 2, he's not going because of Gaza and Israel and all the rest of it. And he wants Trump to do something about it. 1, I don't think Trump gives a shit. I don't even think you know who you are, Ed Davey. Get back on a roller coaster. Get back on a log flume. See if you can drown yourself next time when you're doing it. Because you're an irrelevance. And then on top of that, later today, when he wasn't quite getting enough coverage in the news, he tosses in another liberal Uber bomb. He blames Nigel Farage and Brexit. He quotes the thing where he says, we didn't have this problem with people coming over in small boats when we were part of the EU. We had the Dublin Agreement. He goes on about liberals do this all the time. They're liars. We didn't have the problem of the small boats because they're all coming in fucking lorries. You clown, you fool, you idiot. Then on top of that, he says, with Dublin, we could send them back. But if you actually look at the net figures, i.e. the people sent back and the others who were sent to us, we were still in a deficit. But he just lies. Oh, and the best one is the reason why he can't go to the dinner with Trump, it's his religion. He had a conversation with God or his wife and decided his conscience wouldn't allow him. What a prick. And he wants to be prime minister. Mind you, look at what we've got. A man who would make Judas Iscariot look like decent and reasonable and a team player. Starmer would throw his own granny under a bus if you could get a new suit. Oh, thank you, sir. I can't tell you. I am fuming. Help me out. Come on. Tell me what you think. Let's take some more calls. Kimberly Paul, they are complicit in the sexual abuse of British women and children. Protect your people. Blimey, Kimberly. That is harsh. But I know where you're coming from. I do know where you're coming from. Because they've allowed this situation to develop. And then today, they use our courts against us. Just how does he sleep with himself at night? Well, shut up, John. Let's go for the next one. Shaz Marley. Hello, Shaz. I've been waiting nearly 2 years for a council house in Scotland, and I'm a pensioner. Yet these illegal migrants get prioritised. I even wrote to the local Labour MP, and he was not at all helpful. Thank you, Shaz. Thank you for your story. Send them back. No nonsense. Trump did it. You're absolutely right. But what's the difference between Trump and Starmer? Trump's got a spine. Starmer has not. Come on in. Let's have some more comments. If you'd like to help me out, don't forget it's www.buymeacoffee.com/Jon Gaunt. Donate what you want to donate. Or just press the little $sign down there. Come on, we need some donations in this show as well. I'm working my fat little butt off here for you. But I do want to say, and sincerely I want to say, thank you to everybody who's downloaded today's first show, which was all about Ryland. Ryland. Is it Ryland or Ryland? Ryland, isn't it? He's a national treasure, what he said on telly yesterday. And he's bang right. Absolutely right. Do you agree? It's obvious whose side they're on. And if they lose the hotels, we're going to suffer even more, as they'll be on the streets, so we can't win. You're right, Emma. No, if they lose and they have to move them out of the hotels, I'll tell you exactly the narrative, and you've got it really there in shorthand. The excuse then will be, oh, the British public didn't want them in hotels, so we put them in houses of multiple occupation. Now the British public are moaning about that. They don't ever think, well, there'll be no need for any of this. Put them in an army camp. I think overnight, well, certainly in a couple of days, a weekend, get the Royal Engineers in, get the tents up on old airfields and move them there. No more squeezy soap. Get them out of the hotels. No more big hotel groups profiteering off our money. Job sorted. Job sorted. Leave the Human Rights Act, the European Human Convention bollocks, like your man said the other day, Farage. We can't carry on like this because, see, if Starmer wins, it'll be a Pyrrhic victory anyway because he's still got the problem. He's still got, I think 32,000 in hotels at the moment. Where's he going to put them? Unless he does what I say, which now people like Jack Straw, ex-Home Secretary, I used to call him the Manor Straw, but anyway, he's got a bit of sense about him in his old age. He's saying, let's get out of the ECHR for a short period while we sort ourselves out. I'd take that compromise, but I want out completely, personally. We'll have our own Bill of Rights. We'll still have human rights. We'll still look after people because that's what we do in our country. It's just pathetic, isn't it? Finn says, Starmer government are the gangs. They are the traffickers. They're bringing in new WEF Uniparty regime voters. I don't normally agree with conspiracy theorists, Finn, but you make quite a good point there. Thank you very much indeed. On a positive note, it's great to see all the flags going up. Oh, well, that's all right then, isn't it? We'll all get under a flag dazzer. We are going to hell in a handcart. Finn comes back on again and he says, all by design, they're importing new voters and we are the collateral damage. So be it. Disgraceful. Thank you for your comments, Finn. Susan Thwaites, I love your beer. You talk so well. Thank you. And every word is true. Thank you, Susan. Would you mind sending an email to my wife and tell her that? Because I could do that. She doesn't think I always tell the truth, but I do. She doesn't like the way I can argue. But anyway, thank you, Susan. It is a gift. You notice my throat's a bit better tonight. It was terrible this afternoon. I am disappointed. Nobody is donating. What is wrong with you? There must be someone who haven't put a few bob in the can. Come on. You won't get this on the BBC. Craig says it will get overruled, and this will only pour more fuel on the fire, and decent people will get a trumped-up arrest for protesting peacefully. Well, that's what I fear, Craig. I think if tomorrow at 2:00 the judges say, no, you're right. Your argument is correct, government. The argument you've used against your own people, I'm siding with you and the illegals. I think there's a very good chance that could lead to lots of trouble. I don't want there to be trouble, and I would recommend don't do it, because you know what he's going to do? Billy Big Bollocks, he'll turn around and do his big tough speech, won't show any sympathy to the women of Epping. Remember that this man, this spineless amoeba, has not been to Nuneaton to talk to the two girls, or the girl who got raped while another one allegedly strangled her. He hasn't been to Epping to talk to people there. He's been nowhere. Just like when he went to Southport, the moment somebody called him a fat wanker, he ran away. He isn't a leader. He has no humility. He's an arrogant lawyer, leeching lawyer. So what I'd say to you is, do not cause trouble on the streets, because he'll have you in prison. And two-tier Keir, I'm never here, Keir. That's what he wants, because he wants to point to you and say you're a far-right thug, just like the whole idea with the flags and everything. Just that's what he wants, because he's not going to get elected in a normal way. It must hurt him how unpopular he is. Yeah? He's the most unpopular prime minister ever. Why? Because he's a liar, a liar, a liar. And did you know he was the director of public prosecutions, but Jimmy Savile never came over his desk? Hey, John. Hey, John Trump. Love you. What do you mean by that? Thank you very much. Where we go next? Finn, I'm not going to read out any more yours. You've had enough of a say, but thank you. Janet Ward, do you think the protest on the 13th of September will have any effect? I think it will show, you're talking about Tommy Robinson's demo. I think it will show the strength of feeling, but I wouldn't be surprised if there aren't far left agitators planted in there to try and stir up trouble. I know Tommy Robinson himself has said he doesn't want trouble. Tommy Robinson, though, I don't want to upset you. He's not the answer. He's not the answer. What's the answer is all the people on the so-called right coming together as a collective. There's too much infighting. But I don't want to throw out people out of the country who have been here for years, who are decent, solid, working people. Just pray to a God who I think's stupid, but then I think that with all religions. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I don't know, Janet. I don't think it will change anything. It'll be an outpouring of passion, an outpouring of anger, but he won't achieve anything. If they can't go to Germany, Greece, etc., they're just going to come here instead. Well, of course. You've seen what they're doing in Germany. Germany are basically doing exactly what Greece has done. No, or 9 in their case. Denmark's already done it. Holland are thinking of doing it. Yeah, they're all going to just come here. And in a way, can you blame the French? Yes, but put that to one side. They're just waving them through, aren't they? Because they don't want the problem. And because we're seen as such a soft touch, which Starmer can't get his head round, right? Starmer can't get hard on anything. Well, maybe. He doesn't seem to understand. You got to be tough. Got to be tough. Ben, you're right. You're not going to read out any more of your conspiracy theories. Thank you for saying it. And I gave you a fair crack of the whip. Now just back off a bit till tomorrow. What happened to the Yarlswood Immigration Detention Centre near Bedford? Why isn't it full of asylum seekers, says Jackie? I used to cover that when I was on BBC Luton. And you're right. I don't know. Didn't they burn it down? Because that was one of the first asylum youth detention or something. It got burned down, I think. I don't know. Ian Passy, Starman, or Starmer, he means, likes to get to the bottom line. Oh, no, Ian. Why do you want to make homophobic jokes? Because by doing that, people then just say you're a far-right thug. Be clever about it if you're going to do it at all. But there's no evidence. You can't prove that, can you? Why is there lots more rapes not being reported? Well, maybe because they think the police won't take it seriously. I don't know, Maggie, but thank you for your comments. Ian Passy says, when a 14-year-old girl has to bear arms to protect her 12-year-old sister, the UK's clearly got a problem. The only thing I'd say on that, Ian, there's more information coming out about that every day. You're talking about the story in Scotland. That's all I would say. I don't know. I don't know the truth of that, and I don't think you do either. Switzerland had riots the other day. It was the new Swiss or rioting. Yeah, I saw that on the telly. Amazing, isn't it? It's happening in Italy, Germany, the Netherlands. What they don't seem to understand, the people who are in charge. I mean, one, I don't know how they ever got in charge, but why won't they listen to the people? I mean, they can sort of say, well, some people are this, some people are that. But it's obvious that a majority, a bit like your man Ryan said yesterday, the majority didn't vote for this, don't want this. And the majority are not racist or horrid. They're tolerant. They just want to live their lives. And it's kind of like, you're getting no reward for that, are you? You're not even getting respected for it. You may as well become part of the feral, the feckless, the freeloaders, and the foreigners yourself. Do you agree? Right, I'm going to stop in about 2 minutes' time, unless I get a load more comments. You've had me today for half an hour. I've just done 36 minutes here. I hope I'm giving you food for thought. But we are in a dreadful, dreadful situation. And our leaders now have actually turned against us, haven't they? To use the law, I know you have to do everything you can if you're in a legal case, but to turn around and say their rights are more important than the indigenous population, I find that just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Is it because Keir Starmer is scared? Is it because he's frit? Is it because he's not a proper bloke? Is it because he hasn't got a spine? Why is he not joining up with us? 3 senior judges tonight are going to be discussing whether to overturn the temporary injunction aimed to block asylum seekers from being housed at the Bella Hotel in Epping on Friday. Obviously, that was all done on a planning injunction and planning rules. But why is this happening? Serious impact on the Secretary of State, that's Yvette Cooper's, ability to house vulnerable people. House vulnerable people, both by encouraging other local authorities to seek such interim injunctions, pending the outcome of substantive planning law complaints, and those who seek to target asylum accommodation in acts of public disorder. See, there we are. She works for the Home Office. They've all just had a massive pay rise, of course. And she's straight in there saying the problem isn't the illegal immigrants. The problem is us. How dare we protest on the streets? How dare our ladies wear pink T-shirts? How dare we worry about our children, our mums, our daughters, our girlfriends, our sisters, our wives? It's just incredible. Now, don't write anything stupid when I read out this bit for you, because don't forget the bell is the focal point of several protests and counter-protests in recent weeks, after an asylum seeker who was living there was charged with sexually assaulting a teenage girl. Hadush Gebelassi Kabutu has denied the offence and has been on trial this week. We don't know the result yet, so I don't want you to comment directly. But another man who was living in the same hotel, Syrian national Mohammed Sarwak, has separately been charged with 7 offences, while several other men have been charged over alleged disorder outside, the hotel. How are we living in a situation like this? Where is Starmer? Where is Starmer? Now, Finn, because I'm not going to read out everything he's written, he now says, you disappoint me, John. Not conspiracy theories. UNWEF are open about what they're doing. You need a lot of catching up to do. Well, when you can write English, then maybe I'll worry about your intellectual superiority to me, Einstein. But until then, don't think the way you're going to get on my show is by insulting me. I just don't agree with you about all that bullshit. All right? Get over it. Plenty of other conspiracy sites you can go to and get off on if that's what you want to do, Finn. I thought the first couple of things you said were quite interesting. But after that, you became a bore, a complete bore. Go away, think about it, and come back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. I meant the Daily Express keep reporting more rapes and sexual assaults from illegal immigrants every day. They do, Maggie Young, but these are allegations, and we've all got to be careful about allegations, like the other people who've just been talking about, the ones in Nuneaton and indeed the ones even from the Epping Hotel who have been in court this week. We have got to believe in innocent till proven guilty. We'll know about that next week. What I wanted to focus on tonight was just the way you are being betrayed. We're all being betrayed by our leadership. It's not even a party political point, because I think if the Tories we're in, they'll be doing the same. Why don't they want to protect the rights and the responsibilities of the people who already live here, no matter what colour skin, no matter what religion? Why do they put the foreigners, the feckless, the feral, the useless ahead of us? Well, that's your homework for tonight. Right, I'll be doing a show. I'll probably do it, I don't know, if the thing's going to come through at 2ish, I'll probably do it about 3, because I go out on a Friday, so I've got to do that. So I'm hoping we get a result. I've got a feeling it might even be put off till next week. I that's what I think. Grond, I don't even know what you're saying, so I'm not going to bother reading it out. Okay. Jackie is giving me 3 love hearts. Thank you, Jackie. That's very kind of you. Don't forget, if you'd like to donate to keep these things going, if you think they're worth it, go to www.buymeacoffee.com/Jon Gaunt. Then you get your name on the bottom of the screen. If you've never watched the YouTube channel, that's the best way to keep in touch and know what I'm up to. It's free to subscribe. It says subscribe, but it's free. So go to Jon Gaunt TV on YouTube and press the subscribe button. Then you'll know whenever I'm doing a show. But if you do want to help out financially, you can just press the little $sign under there and chuck a few quid in the tin. Quite a few people did it at lunchtime. Maybe I was better then. I don't know. And then finally, Maggie Young. We missed you the past few days, Maggie. She sent me the love hearts. No, the claps and 1 heart. Thank you very much indeed, Maggie. That's very kind of you. Right, that's me done. I'll be back tomorrow. As I say, bit of a movable feast. We've got to wait and see what the decision is and when that decision comes through. But I don't think it's going to be good news. I really don't. We have been betrayed by those who are meant to represent us. So until tomorrow, if you've got kids, hold them really tight. Give them a hug, give them a kiss, and don't forget to tell them that you love them. I'll speak to you tomorrow. All the best. Bye-bye.